Alright, here I go. This isn't a review per se, this is more like a video blog. Something I wanted to do some time ago. And maybe I got motivated recently by some events in my life to do this. I want to do this. It's it's me. Um, the video is going to be called Why I Do What I Do. And it's basically for those guys on the internet that go, you're old, you're playing with toys, rah, 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 you know. But I can call them trolls, but they have a point, you know. Um, one what we do, what the what us toy collectors, comic book nerds. I'm a nerd, but I don't wear it on my sleeve. But I try to keep my nerddom in check. Now, why I do what I do, I'm gonna explain right now. I like toys. I'm an artist also. I'm not a paid artist, but I like to draw. And way back when Gundam Wing came out, when I used to live in the Dominican Republic, I used to collect comics. They were expensive, and I would draw because if you've lived there, you know what an apagón is. Sometimes there's no electricity, so you gotta entertain yourself. So I would draw. When I came to the States, I got back into action figures. As at first, I thought of it as a means of using something like this as a model, as reference to draw. But eventually I came to discover that some of these things are very cool. Like this. This is Masterpiece Skyward. It's cool. And Bandai has been doing a very good job with their engineering of these Gundam model kits. If you compare this to the ones that came out like at the beginning of the 90s, this Dynamis is way better than any 1100V Gundam or Shining Gundam from the time. Now, that's all fine and good. My hobby is to collect things. I like collecting stuff, but I'm also an entrepreneur. my my motivations on YouTube are kind of two-folded because my first video that I did, I wanted to put it on a website called Expo TV where they pay you for your reviews. So I always had money on my mind before doing this. And when I was living in the Dominican Republic, an uncle of mine said that when you get money, you should invest it. And the best way to invest it would be to open your own business. So from way back then, I wanted to be like Jim Lee. I've mentioned this before. I wanted to get into comics, get enough money to open my own studio, and then start licensing what I've created. So it's not like I'm not going anywhere with this. I mean, if you're married and you got a good job, you got 2 kids, and you want something to do, keep your hobbies, you know. Never let someone tell you, oh, drawing is boring, you should stop doing that. Don't give that up for a girl. If you lose your love for it, like I've discovered like maybe 5 years ago that comics weren't the thing for me. I mean, I still want to create my own stuff, but the stories in comics, I was a Marvel comic fan, started going downhill, and before the Iron Man movie came out, I looked on Wikipedia about Iron Man's story, and it degraded into stupidness. And I'm like, add to that the cost of comics are going up. Marvel and DC, I think they came out with something called digital comics, but I'm not a comic book fan anymore. I got out of that. When I moved out of my place, I gave all my comics to the cat lady that lives on the first floor. So that's that. And the thing with comics is, unless you got something like Action Comics 1, which is really rare. It's rare because at the time it came out, it was just like, oh, this is a funny book. If you liked it a lot, you would keep it, but most people just threw them out or recycled them. So that's why those old comics are rare. In the 90s, they oversaturated the market. Like, you could go to a comic book convention and you could find Jim Lee's X-Men 1, any of the 5 variant covers. So comics are, it's not a hobby of mine anymore. I have discovered though that with action figures, it's they're harder to, I mean, if toys from like the 60s, like the big G.I. Joes, it's the same deal as with the comics. You know, the kids would get older and they'd be like, I don't like my Joes. If some of them might have held on to them, but most of the people like threw them out. It's like also with the Transformers Generation 1 and the old G.I. Joes. The problem I have with old G.I. Joes is that the technology used for them in the 80s is way crappier than the technology now. So why would you get a big-headed Duke from the 80s when you could get an awesome Snake Eyes from the Rise of Cobra line? But the Transformers and the old G.I. Joes, I guess it's for nostalgia that most people collect them or buy them on the internet. But I don't think I have any nostalgia for any toys. Excuse me. Stupid alarm. Alert. So, let me see what. So action figures, and I guess to collect these is a little different than collecting comic books or collecting DVDs, which or video games. Which, you know, if you're into that, go ahead. But I have to be honest, it's way easier to pirate a DVD or a comic book or a video game than it is to pirate one of these. So I think this has more value. Of course, you have bootleg toys like this thing I bought, but this has no value. I don't think anyone would pay more than $10 for this on eBay. So, but the legit stuff like this, I keep bringing up War Machine because he's very cool. Like this, that I think that has value. Maybe not like in the future, like 20 years from now, this will be like $800. That's not gonna happen. I doubt it. But my channel is I always put my videos under education because even though I entertain you, I'm a charming guy, very honest and modest. But I wanna, like, while I buy something like this to build and to detail and to put on display and enjoy, I also want to let people know what I got out of it, that they'll get out of it. So it's I want to educate people on what they're gonna get. That's what a review is about. So I guess I'm out of steam. I guess that's everything I had to say. I have been on vacation like the last 2 weeks, so That's why you guys haven't seen any videos from me. And I found that I can't work on a plane. I guess what they call right-brained. I gotta go with the flow, because my plan was to review the rest of the little 6-inch Iron Man, the 3 3/4 Iron Man figures in Spanish and in English. But I think so many people's done them that I should go with something more unique, like maybe Masterpiece Skywarp. I'm thinking the Robot Damashis, since they're action figures, and then the HCM Pros. That's what my heart's telling me. And it's easy. You know, all I have to do is build the little weapons. But I guess what I want to say is, everyone out there on YouTube and in the world, you can collect what you want, do what you want as a hobby, as long as it doesn't get in the way of your life, and you learn that it's not the only thing, it's not the be-all end-all. If you could make a purpose out of it, if you could take toys and open a brick and mortar store, or like you want to do a drive for Toys for Tots in December, it's good, you know, that's good. But I don't think, and I hope there are not people out there that it's just all about collecting and not getting something out of it. Because eventually, as I learned when I started hoarding my stuff, most of the stuff that I had extra I sold on eBay. Everything that I think I wanted to keep, I put into the plastic bins, and eventually, I'm guessing I'm gonna sell them on eBay. But I did tell my friend, who's a girl, that I don't see myself doing this, like reviewing toys, collecting toys, when I'm 50. Or say I'm 36 now. I don't see that in 15 years from now, that I'm gonna keep doing this. Hey, I wasn't doing this 10 years ago. Well, 20 years ago. So times change. I'm hoping that maybe by the time I'm 50, I have like like some kids. But you know, where I guess another point is, like, girls don't like this. There are girls on my channel. Like, it's just I guess it's not. If you take something to this extreme, it could be anything. Your love for your cat, or your math class. If you take it to this extreme, it always looks bad. So that's the thing you want to avoid. Because my brother, he's a Star Wars fan, and he builds his own ships. He likes working on stuff, but he kept his hobby, which is something good that everyone should have, something that you do that makes you happy, even when you're alone. You should have that. He still has that. He's married, he has 2 kids. So I think it's just when you bring in a girlfriend and your room's surrounded by toys that she's like, oh my God, what the hell? I don't know. It might work the other way too. Like if a girl took me into a room and there were Barbies everywhere, and I'm like, ooh, ah. But what can I say? It's 14 minutes of me blabbing. But I guess if the Great Toy Reviewer could get away with 40 minutes of blabbing, I can get away with 15. So yeah, to all the haters out there that say, you know, collecting toys is for kids, or playing with toys. I don't play with these, even though I'm thinking of playing with them. If you know about my Nightbeat and Swerve skits. But that's like going to be aimed toward kids and people that like that, because old people like cartoons too. You know, I'll watch SpongeBob and still enjoy it. So thanks for watching. I'd like to thank everyone that's subscribed, and if you unsubscribed, shame on you. But you know, do what you want. It's your life. If it makes you happy to unsubscribe, go ahead. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I want to get back to work and review stuff. I do. It is kind of weird. I was looking over my statistics about like how many views my videos get, how many views like It's 1985 gets, or Sean Long, or Robert 184, or Prime 982. I'm trying to see what I could do to up the ante of the views. Maybe I need an intro. I don't know. But thanks for everything. For all my subscribers, and for everyone who's helped. I got my AdSense got up to 100, so that means I'm making money. But it took like 2 months. I gotta up the ante. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.